And welcome.
T-minus
10, 9, countdown
8,
with me.
7,
You better.
6, 5,
Come on.
4, 3,
Do it.
2, 1, 0. Ignition. Liftoff. Liftoff.
We have liftoff, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do this together with a little bit of magic. There it is. Come on.
Get ready. Hold on to your hat. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hat. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time. On Vaughn Radio. It's a show with no name.
It's electric.
Let's go.
I told you. Watch out for those lightning bolts. That English energy that will electrify you all day long. That energy you'll get here on the show with no name, here on Vaughn Radio. Amigos, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm sure Richard Vaughn, I'm sure my buddy Fitz, and other amigos have already welcomed you aboard. And if not, I don't know why you're not listening to Fitz's show. No excuses. It's an awesome show by the guy who trains all the teachers at Vaughn. The one and only Fitz. And you can catch him every morning in his program, No Excuses. Great program. You will be challenged. And Fitz, man, he's a stickler. He's demanding. Exigente. Rigorista. A stickler. He's demanding. Well, if he's going to train all our teachers, he should be demanding. He should be he should be our example, our model, and he is. And you can listen to him every morning or listen whenever you want. If you have the app or you listen wherever you listen to podcasts, it's No Excuses, and it's by my buddy Fitz. Oh yeah, on Vaughn Radio. Welcome. We interrupt this program to bring you the following news flash. Ladies and gentlemen, Vaughn is now located at Colegio Estudiantes en Las Tablas, Madrid. That's right. We're opening a new Vaughn Language Center at Colegio Estudiantes Las Tablas. That's great news, folks, that we are constantly growing. Our family is growing. And now you can check us out if you're in Madrid, the north of Madrid, Las Tablas. We are opening a new center over there, and it's at Colegio Estudiantes. I think the best way, folks, is if you follow us on social media. You will stay up to date on what's going on in the Vaughn world. You'll find out about all kinds of different things that are going on as well, such as my buddy Kyle's Trivia Night.
It's time for the return of our Vaughn Radio Trivia Nights. Join us to practice your English, test your knowledge, and have a great time on Wednesday, October 4th at 8:30 p.m. at Roll Madrid, Calle Amañel 23. Each month, we host our Vaughn Radio Trivia Nights where attendees are put into teams and answer fun trivia questions in English. Join us for the fun at Roll Madrid on Wednesday, October 4th at 8:30 p.m. That's Roll Madrid, Calle Amañel 23. This time, it's hosted by me, Kyle Miller. Everyone's welcome, so we'll see you there.
That's right, amigos. And don't forget, we've got a lot of interesting things going on, so mark your calendars. We've got Kyle Miller's Trivia Night, October 4th. Well, no, let's go in order. That's the best way, so this way you don't get lost. Let's go in order here. The first thing coming up is the 22nd of September, 2023. We are having an open house. That's right, us at Vaughn. We are opening our doors to all of you guys to come in and see what we're about. You can get sample classes, level tests. Just by registering, you guys can get the mini milk. And what is that? That's an abridged version of my best-selling book, The Milk, just for signing up and registering. Then when you get there, you will be put into a raffle, a drawing, un sorteo. Yeah, and you can win other amazing prizes. Plus, as I said, you'll get a free English class, a free level test. Don't miss it. It's Vaughn's open house. I don't remember the last time we did it, so I think take advantage of this, guys. If you are in the wonderful cities of Bilbao, Valladolid, Zaragoza, Barcelona, Valencia, Santander, Vigo, and Madrid. We expect you. We are expecting you. And it is the 22nd of September. More information on our website, grupovon.com. Also, follow us on social media, and you'll have the link where you guys can register. But I highly recommend you register. I mean, I don't think they're going to turn you down, rechazarte en la puerta, but it's a good idea to register in advance. Let us know you're coming. Bilbao, Valladolid, Zaragoza, Barcelona, Valencia, Santander, Vigo, Madrid. We can't wait to meet you. The 22nd of September. Then October 4th, you've got a free trivia night at Roll Madrid. It's Vaughn Radio Trivia Night with Kyle Miller. And then November 1st, I'm hosting, baby. The host with the most. Es la típica frase. The host with the most, folks. So join us. And I think the best way to be in the loop, al tanto, is if you're following us on social media. And if you're following us on social media, you won't miss a thing. Como va la canción de Aerosmith. You won't miss a thing. No te perderás nadita. Folks, let me just remind you of this week's question of the week.
Question of the week.
Yeah, that's right. Charge! It's question of the week, folks, and I've already got some submissions, cosas que habéis entregado. Remember, it's real simple. You have to answer this question. What's the nicest thing or the kindest thing, bondadoso, that a complete stranger has ever done for you? What is it? Let us know. Keep it under a minute. I think the greatest way to start is to say, hi, it's blah, blah, blah. Te presentas really quickly. You answer the question, and then, of course, send your classmates a shout out, wish them a good day, whatever you want. That part's up to you. So this way, you're answering the question, and you're also giving us a little shout out. It's a great way to hear from all of you. And again, I'm going to do it again because last Friday was a resounding success. Éxito total, rotundo, you say. So great job. If you want to participate, send me a 1-minute voice message. 1 minute. Try not to go over a minute because remember, we want to hear from a lot of people and we don't want the section to go on and on because we've got a lot of other sections to look at, as you guys know. Name That Movie, Double Trouble, and all that jazz. So keep it, concise, as we always say. Say a lot in a little. And that you can send to my email. You can record it on your phone. Obviously, be aware, consciente of the sound around you. If there's a big echo, go in another room. or just grab, a really good trick. And a lot of beginner podcasters do this. They go in a closet, it's got to be a big closet, obviously, with their equipment, their computer, their microphone. And think about it. The sound waves don't bounce anywhere in a closet. Another trick, and I think Tosh Pasqua has done this one, if I'm not mistaken, is you go under a blanket. And there's another way to make a home studio. So, but for me, who's claustrophobic, I don't know if that would be my cup of tea necessarily. So, my amigos, the question is, what's the nicest thing a complete stranger has ever done for you? Send me a 1-minute voice message that you can record on your phone, and you can send it to A. Alonso. That's 2 A's. So it's A. Alonso, sin punto, sin guión. So there's no dot. There's no underscore. It's just A. Alonso at grupovon.com. And as I said, if you're following on social media, well, I gave you guys those instructions. I gave you all the information just in case you weren't able to jot it down. And if you follow on social media, that'll also give you an advantage in our pop quiz. Come on. Let's go. Come on. Pop quiz. Come on. Come on. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. That's right, folks. It's our pop quiz, and it's electrifying. All right, welcome. I see so many people joining us here in our virtual classroom. Y fijaos en la TU. Digo, virtual classroom. And it's a pleasure to have you all on board. We're going to check in. Vamos a fichar ahora. We're going to check in with all of you in just a moment, my show with no namers. But let me give you the pop quiz first. Now, the pop quiz comes from a book that we've got at our Vaughn Tienda. It's called Natural English. Natural English, tu guía definitiva del inglés natural. As natural as I just sounded, right? So, empápate del inglés de la vida real para no quedarte fuera de las conversaciones entre angloparlantes. As I always say, translation, this is your guide to being in our club. It's going to give you all our little slogans, all our little catchphrases, all these little cultural things that we say. And it's available now. Ximena Holiday is one of the people who worked on it. And as you know, she's a tremendous talent. You can catch Ximena Holiday every day in her program here right after this show, and it's called Test Your English. And it's an honor to be sandwiched between Fitz and Ximena, two amazing teachers, two examples. All right, well, folks, I'm missing something though here. Maybe it's vitamin D. No, it's vitamin B for beet. Oh, there it is. Oh, okay. Now I'm getting it. I'm feeling it now. All right, well, this is a touchy subject. A touchy subject. Well, what is that? Good question. A touchy subject is a subject that it's not easy to talk about. Okay? Delicado, maybe you would say. Delicate. You could say delicate, but it's the word touchy. Puede tocar una fibra. Think about it that way. And tocar la fibra sensible is to strike a nerve or to strike a chord. Right? That spoke to me specifically. All right. So there are certain topics that are tough. You don't know, like death, for example. Talking about death, my condolences. I'm sorry for your loss. These are like 3 sentences you need to know because you don't want to say, sorry, your uncle died. Queda muy frío. I'm sorry about your dead uncle. You see, those are words, yes, but we got to be careful how and when we use them, especially at these touchy times. And one of those times, we just talked about death. Let's talk about the other end of the spectrum, birth, pregnancy, even pre-birth. And, well, first things first. I never ask somebody if they're pregnant. I think I've done it once or twice, and it wasn't a good idea. She's like, no, I'm not. I'm like, oh, please sit, miss. And she's like, why? I'm like, I was just trying to be nice. So now it's tough, this stuff. It's, as I said, it's a touchy subject. Some people just put on a few pounds. You call them kilos. We call them pounds. So we're going to take a look at how to talk about pregnancy, right? Somebody who is expecting. Expecting means que esperas un bebé. Usually the couple, aunque solo la mujer que pare, the mother delivers the baby, right? Well, the doctor delivers the baby, right? The mother gives birth. Dar a luz, the doctor or the nursemaid or whoever. Depends on, well, people aren't born at home anymore like our parents and grandparents, right? Speaking of grandparents, you want to see what just happened? I use photos as bookmarkers, and a photo of my grandmother, my late difunta, God rest her soul, my late grandma, Maria Lilia, just fell out of the book. As I said the word grandparents. Is this, whoa, hola, mama. So I guess she's here with us right now. That's pretty crazy. And I love Iker Jimenez, but, my willing suspension of disbelief, as we call it, is short. I'm not willing to believe too much, but that was nuts. Vaya locura, what just happened. All right. So I'm going to give you 4 sentences I want you to give me in the comments. The first one is, ¿de cuánto estás? Give them to me all together. Okay, and we'll look at how to say it, appropriate ways. ¿De cuánto estás? Let's say now you know the person's pregnant. Embarazada is not embarrassed. Remember, false friend there. So you're friends, and you say, oh, no te he visto mucho tiempo. ¿De cuánto estás? Part 2. You're going to give me 4 here in one comment. Okay? ¿Cuándo sales de cuentas is the second one. ¿Cuándo sales de cuentas? Now, as I said, you've already established the person is pregnant. Okay? And I'll tell you what. I'm just going to give you 3. Because the other one I don't use too often, but it's very British. But I'll give it to you after. But I'm going to give you the challenge of, instead of 4, 3 of them. How would you tell somebody, estás embarazada? How would you ask them? Vamos a ponerlo en pregunta. ¿Estás embarazada? Aunque we already said be careful with that question. Now, I don't want you to say pregnant. ¿Por qué? Porque lo acabo de decir. So you have to give me another way to say, ¿estás embarazada? Okay. There you go. 3 sentences. Question, the first one, ¿de cuánto estás? Okay. The next one, ¿cuándo sales de cuentas? 3 questions. ¿Y estás embarazada? All right, my amigos, these translations are right out of Natural English, tu guía definitiva del inglés natural. You can get it at the Vaughn Tienda, vaughntienda.com, or you can stop into one of our centers in Bilbao, Valladolid, Zaragoza, Barcelona, Valencia, Santander, Vigo, and Madrid. And remember, these books, I don't want to call them books, these resources, they come with audio. So that's so important that not only you read the conversation and the notes and the class, but that you listen as well. You download the audio on your phone and you can follow along. All right, let's go on into our chat room and see who's on board. We've got David. David's checking in, ready to rock. He says, good morning. Good morning to you, David. We've got Born to Iron Man. What's up? born. Who else? Kubla. Kubla says, morning, good-natured folks. As I deem myself meek, como me considero débil, meek. I deem myself, esto viene de la Biblia, the meek shall inherit the earth. Van a heredar la tierra. I don't know how you would translate the meek. M-E-E-K. We're getting biblical here. Was it the lightning? So he says, as I deem myself meek, and if you judge my greeting sleek, I only intend it tongue-in-cheek. Excuse this geek. I love your poetry there. I love it. I love rhyming words. Great job, Kubla. What a greeting. So he rhymed meek with sleek, right? Sleek is suave. Tongue-in-cheek, sarcástico, con tono irónico. And geek is freaky. So great job there, Kubla. What a welcome. Laura, can't start without Laura. No way. I'm not starting the show without Laura here. She says, good morning, amazing show with no namers. What's up, Laura? We got my good buddy Miguel from Almeria. What's up, Miguel? What a pleasure. Un placer. I've known Miguel since we were 10. ¿Cuántos años, Miguel? Like when we were 10 years old. So Miguel, one of my oldest, and I don't mean que él es viejo, digo antiguo como amigo. One of my, puede ser ambos, ¿no? Lo explico, por eso. One of my oldest Spanish friends, folks, tuned in right now. Great to have you with us, Miguel. And Almeria in the house. It's Almeria in the house. All right. Who else is in the house? There's Chris, Val, Rol. Now we can officially kick off. She says, morning, Alberto and mates. What's up, Chris? Great to have ya. Nihad says, good morning, Mr. Alberto and friends. Please, you don't have to call me Mr. I'm your friend. But yeah, it's true, Nihad. In the classrooms in the States, it's Miss Kathy, Mr. Jones, Miss, right? En vez de profe, so profe. You could say teach. So teach is the thing. Hey, teach. Oye, profe. But Mr., come on, we're buddies. Somos amigos. Salvador here to save the day. He says, hey, double A and classmates, I'm ready to learn English and have a blast. Salvador, great to have you with us once again, having fun, learning, and laughing. All right. Laura's taking a stab at our pop quiz today. Let's see, Laura. The first one. How far along are you? That is correct. Great job. The next one. ¿Cuándo sales de cuentas? When are you due? Nice job, Laura. Let's see if she gets that third one over there. Another way of saying, are you pregnant? Are you expecting? Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Laura. Unbelievable, Laura. You nailed it from the start. Desde el principio, she has started off with a bang. Empezar fuerte, to start off with a bang. And where's my bang over there? Oh, there it is. There it is. All right, well, folks, I'll tell you what. I can't believe this, but we've got to go to our first commercial break. And we're going to take a look at more answers. I see we've got a lot of people with answers over here, and that's awesome. Because you know what that means? That means that many people have participated, and it means we might find some other ways to ask these questions. And I don't know about you guys. I don't know what you think, but I think that is absolutely awesome. But right now, we've got to take a quick commercial break. Folks, you know how it works. We'll be back in 2 minutes with tons more. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name, exclusively on Vaughn Radio. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back. Just a quick break. Un descansito, a breather. We looked at this in my class yesterday with my students. A breather, to take a breather. Un respiro, un descanso. You can say a pause, you can say a break, but if you say a breather, oh man, that's, how would we put it here on the show? That is totally native. Welcome back, folks. Welcome back to your exciting English show. It's interactive. It's the show with no name. And it's on Vaughn Radio. If you can't tune in live, you can always listen to Vaughn Radio wherever you get your podcasts. That's right. Spotify, iVox, Apple Podcasts. Oh, and speaking of podcasts, I think this even deserves a drum roll over here. I have decided to make the bonus episode of Cruises, the bonus episode of FYI on Cruises, available to everybody. The only thing is, the link is, you got to go to the link. I just shared a link with you there. And as a bonus, this is for Show with No Namers exclusively, because you've got the link right now in the comments, okay? It's on my Patreon page if you're curious and you want to find it later. But it's in the comments there, and you'll find, okay, because I made them available to everybody. Normally the posts are locked if you're not in the community. But if you go there and you scroll through the posts, you will find the bonus episode of FYI on Cruises available to everybody. And you'll find the worksheets and the PDFs with the vocabulary. So this way you can review the vocabulary, and then you can put yourself to the test, and you can see how much you remember. So click on that link. It's the only place you'll be able to find those links, and you can download the PDFs, and you can follow along with both episodes. And that's for you guys, Show with No Namers, who have been kicking ass. Arrasando. All right, folks, it's time for the Say What soundbite. Yeah. Say what? Come on, what? Yeah. Say what soundbite? Say what soundbite? Yeah, say what soundbite? Say what soundbite? Yeah, 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 yeah. All right. All right, folks, you know how it works. The Say What Soundbite section. We're going to hear from a famous person now. And I want you guys to tell me what's going on. I want you to break it down, desglosarlo, and tell me everything, every little juicy detail without going on a rant. Keep it simple, keep it short. Just give me the bare bones, but make it eloquent. I know. I ask a lot of you because I know you can do it. If not, I wouldn't. I know my students well, and I know you guys, you will rise to any challenge. I mean, if we could understand Amy Winehouse and what's his name, Ozzy Osbourne or the Oasis dudes, well, you guys can really understand. I mean, that's once you can understand them, you passed the listening exam in my eyes. All right. Well, here we go. We're going to listen to this for the first time, and I can't wait to hear your observations. Here you go, amigos. Jot this down.
Thank you, Doctor. I could use some energy. Incidentally, one of those torpedoes you fired at me was circling, and you're sunk. Some people will do anything to get rich quick. Toodaloo.
All right, there you go, my amigos. There you go. That is your Say What soundbite for the first time. And hopefully, as I said before, you guys will be able to get everything that this person said. But first, I just want your observations in your best English. Show off, presume. Show off. Show me how well you speak English, and show me why you guys are super show with no namers. This is a perfect opportunity for you guys to shine, brillar in English, to express yourselves. So many people tell me, Alberto, I don't get the opportunity to express myself in English. I'm giving it to you every day on the show. And on Friday, you can express yourself verbally. Just make sure you send me those voice notes before Friday. Because if you send it to me on Friday, I cannot guarantee that it'll be on the show. So half of life, did you notice this? I noticed this a while back. Half of life is knowing how to follow instructions, right? The other half, well, is just dealing with stuff. All right, before I get into any more cereal box philosophy, let me give you the Say What soundbite for the second time.
Thank you, Doctor. I could use some energy. Incidentally, one of those torpedoes you fired at me was circling, and you're sunk. Some people will do anything to get rich quick. Toodaloo.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Interesting, that last word there, isn't it? It sounds very British, or maybe I'm just giving you a clue. It is very British. Speaking of British, ¿qué tiene que ver la Universidad de Oxford con Vaughan? Pues muchísimo. Es una alegría anunciar que Vaughan ha sido certificado como centro examinador de Oxford Test of English. Podrás hacer los exámenes de Oxford Test of English en los centros de Vaughan. Si quieres más información sobre esta iniciativa de Vaughan y Oxford, puedes ver más en nuestra página web, grupovaughan.com. O bien síguenos en redes sociales para más información. Oxford Test of English. Con Vaughan. All right, folks. There you go. You can get your official Oxford Test of English. Again, all this information is on our website. Plus, you can get the information on social media. Just search for us. We are on Facebook. We're on X, as it's called now, Twitter. What's the other one? LinkedIn, Instagram. I don't know about TikTok, YouTube. You can follow Aprende Inglés con Vaughan. You can follow this show on YouTube. You can also get videos that I've posted and have done every week on YouTube as well. So what am I getting at? There's tons of content out there just waiting to be discovered. All right, let's take a look over here as well. I want to see some more answers from our pop quiz while we're waiting to hear from you guys to see what you heard in the Say What soundbite. So let's see. As I said before, Laura was the first one to get all three of them right. Chris Valrol says, how far along are you? Excellent. The second one, when are you due? Excellent. You can also say, when is the baby due? Pero ¿por qué complicarte? When are you due? You're both due at the same time. ¿Para cuándo se prevé, right? When is it due? When are you due? When is the baby due? If you have a library book, if you guys remember libraries, you would take it out. When is it due? ¿Cuándo se debe? ¿Cuándo hay que entregarlo? So it's like una entrega. Well, think about it. The doctor delivers the baby in the delivery room. Does anybody feel like eating KFC right now? They deliver. All right, not funny. Chris says, have you a bun in the oven? It sounds very British, but I love it, Chris. In the States, we would never use the have you as tienes. It's very, very British. Americans would say, do you have or have you got or you got directamente. You got a bun in the oven, but it's a great one. ¿Tienes un bollito en el horno? Anybody getting hungry? Have you got a bun in the oven? Great one. Kubla says, how far along are you? Excellent. When are you due? Great job. And are you expecting? I love it. Now, the good thing is nobody put, are you knocked up? Well, this is another way to say it. But knocked up is como preñar, would be the translation, right? So are you pregnant? That's fine, but I didn't let you use that one. Are you expecting? Right? You could say, are you knocked up? But eso entre amigos, con confianza. Because knocked up is like the slang way to say it. Jerga. Let's see. Mariona says, hi, Super Alonso and friends. Hello. Welcome aboard. Let's see. Kubla is participating in the Say What soundbite. He says, I heard a British man thanking a physician discussing ballistics, energy, and the most important room in the house. So ballistics, this is the study of bullets and guns. Energy and the most important room in the house. I don't know where you got the most important room in the house thing. I'm curious about that. So the energy thing is right. The ballistics is right. And the important room in the I know what you heard. I got it now, Kubla. It took me a second. It's not that. It's not what you think it is. But excellent job. I'm telling you. Excellent job. Let's see. Leo. He says, it sounds like 3 clips from a classic comedy in which first a man thanks his doctor for the medication he prescribed, then comments that a torpedo someone shot at him is hanging around, and finally switches to giving advice about how to do it to get rich. Today's Say What soundbite is crazy. All right. It's not a classic comedy, but I can see why you would say that. Yes, there's something about a doctor there, something about a prescription, something about a torpedo, and something about a round. Good, great. And yeah, well, Leo, on point. On point is another way of saying clavado. All right, anybody else before we move on? And by the way, we're just talking about over here prescriptions and prescribing. This week's FYI is on hospitals. Some really useful vocabulary. All right, let's see. Laura says today's soundbite, not sound bit, sino sound bite, sounded like an excerpt from an old movie in which a British spy manages to get rid of some torpedoes that are fired at him and sends some medicines to the loo. Al retrete, al baño. So, it's not an old movie, but yeah, it's old. It's definitely old. The spy thing, Laura, spot on. Es una espía. And he manages to get rid of some torpedoes. You say torpedo, we say torpedoes that are fired at him, and sends some medicines to the loo. Everything's right except that last sentence. Awesome job, Kubla, Leo, Laura. We've got Chris as well. Chris said, I heard two men. One of them is a doc. They're talking about a torpedo and how people can do anything for getting rich. Mejor, how people will do anything to get rich, to get, en vez de forgetting. Nice job. Excellent. Chris Valrol in the house. Wonderful job. All right, well, guys, collectively, you kicked butt. Lo habéis petado, and that is awesome. But it's time to move on to one of our most challenging sections, our Spelling Bee.
Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee. Spelling Bee.
That's right, amigos. You know it. It is our Spelling Bee here on the show with no name. And we're going to take a look right now and see what's going on. ¿Qué ocurre? See what today's topic is. As you guys know, this is always a challenging section, but it's always linked in some way. So people who are really good at identifying patterns, patrones, can say, okay, estos son presidentes famosos americanos. So, si a lo mejor si no pillas Roosevelt, pues dices, aquí falta una E, lo tengo claro. So remember, that process of elimination thing goes a long way as well. So is everybody ready for our Spelling Bee? Girl, I'm going to make you sweat. Sweat till you can't sweat no more. All right. Are you ready? I'm serious now. I'm joking around, but I am going to fly through round one. In fact, let me take a sip of water here before I even begin, because I'm going to I want to make sure nobody gets it today. I'm going to be evil, malvado. Yeah, evil. You know what evil? Just be careful with the word. Evil es malvado, and the devil es el demonio. You can remember this sentence. That devil, he's pretty evil. All right, here we go. See, that lightning bolt was strategic, so I could take a sip of water. All right, these are people, by the way, so they need to be capitalized. And I want to know who these people are. And good luck. As I said, I'm going to make you guys suffer today. I feel like it. I feel like making it really tough today, just to see if you guys can take it. The first person on our list is PRINCESS space DIANA. The second one, AYRTON space SENNA. The third one is MICHAEL space JACKSON. The fourth one is C period N period space ANNADURAI. The fifth one is POPE space JOHN space PAUL space Roman numeral 2. And the last one, these are really tough. KIM space JONG dash IL space Roman numeral 2. Unbelievable there. If you got that, you are definitely playing in the big leagues. And you know what? I'm going to give you guys a little clue, an audio clue. And for that, we're going to listen to the intro of the FYI episode on death. It's the inevitable fate that all of us will eventually face. Although it's often feared or dreaded, it can drive us forward and motivate us to live our lives to the fullest. The vernacular is full of mentions of this phenomenon that is an anomalous fact of life. Religions reference it relentlessly in their rites and rituals. We'll dig deep into death on this week's episode of FYI. Welcome to For Your Info.
Inglés.
You got it. All right, folks, check it out. I just shared the link with you. It's the FYI episode on death, and we learn all about some of the processes. Well, it's part of life. I started off by saying it's part of life, and we all know that as well. All right, well, let's take a look over here. It looks like I've got some winners. Unfreaking believable, folks. Let me see. Let's check them over here. The first one is correct, Kubla. The second one is also correct, Kubla. The third one is correct. The fourth one is also correct. Oh, my God. The fifth one is correct. And unfreaking believable, the sixth one is correct as well. Wow. Wow. Oh, man. And let's see. Born to Iron Man is taking a stab at it as well. Born to Iron Man. Oh, I see a little mistake in there. Born to Iron Man on the sixth example. So I think so. Yeah. There's a mistake. Also, Laura, excellent effort, but I see a mistake there on the last one as well. So that last one was a doozy. It was pretty tricky. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. This is round 2. Kubla, you can just sit back and relax. All right. The first one is PRINCESS space DIANA. The second one is AYRTON space SENNA. The third one, this is very fair. This is customer service speed. MICHAEL space JACKSON. The fourth one is C period N period space ANNADURAI. The fifth one is POPE space JOHN space PAUL space Roman numeral 2. And the last one is KIM space JONG dash IL space Roman numeral 2. Folks, we are off to a quick commercial break. I can't believe we are halfway through the show. We'll be right back with tons more, so stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name, exclusively on Vaughn Radio. Yeah. Amigos, so much going on here. So many exciting events. The 22nd. That's right, the 22nd of September. Open house at all our Vaughn centers. You can visit us in Bilbao, Valladolid, Zaragoza. Each place brings a wonderful memory back to my mind. Barcelona. Oh, some naughty memories there. Oops. Valencia. Oh, there too. Wow. Oh, man. Santander in the house. No comment. And Vigo. Oh, Jesus. Oh, man. Well, I hope you guys, anybody who's listening, and you're in those cities, from 4 to 7 p.m., stop by our Vaughn centers for a free English class. I recommend you register on our website. It's grupovaughn.com. Also, you've got trivia with Kyle Miller, October 4th and November 1st with me. You've got plenty of time to plan a trip to Madrid. It could be an adventure, an exciting adventure, to see your favorite teachers and your fellow students and have a couple brewskis. Unas cervezacas. All right, well, folks, it's time for Homophones on the Show with No Name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
Show with no name. That's right. It's homophones only on the show with no name. And here's where we take a look at two words that tend to be tricky, but hopefully you guys will be able to demystify them. If not, I will afterwards. But lately, you guys have been doing a wonderful job. Seriously, not just on this section. I was going to say on this section, but in general, I mean, just look at our spelling bee. We've got Kubla. Laura got it on the second go. Or was it Chris? I think it was Chris Valder. It doesn't matter. The important thing is, even the hardest challenges here, you guys can take it. Podéis con ello. All right, well, here's your first word. Your first word is a large vase or vase, florero. But when I hear this word, I don't think of a vase or a vase. I'm just reading what it says on Word Reference. I think of it as a container where you put your deceased ashes. Well, a deceased loved one, right? Deceased. There's another word for dead. It's a lot nicer than deceased, than dead. So I heard he died. I heard he is deceased, right? I think it would be like defunto. Might be a way to say it. There's as I said, there's always like a medical or a more appropriate way to say it, and then there's like the slang way to say it. And with these kind of topics, you want to be careful. So this is a place where people, after they're cremated, they usually they place the ashes in one of these, las cenizas. Okay, very famous scene with Meet the Fuckers, or was it Meet the Parents, where Robert De Niro's character has his mother's ashes on the mantle when they're eating dinner. Oh my God, that was that's a crazy scene. All right, so the word in Spanish, urna. Okay, and the second word is ganar, and I don't mean ganar like we won. I mean ganar dinero, influencia, respeto, ganártelo. right? So that, ganar. Okay, ganar, devengar. Oh, mira, si es interés. Ganarse, obtener, asegurar, right? Those are your two words. Good luck, my amigos. And speaking of good luck, you're going to need all the luck you can get in today's Say What soundbite. Here it is for the third time.
Thank you, Doctor. I could use some energy. Incidentally, one of those torpedoes you fired at me was circling, and you're sunk. Some people will do anything to get rich quick. Toodaloo.
All right, there you go, my amigos. There you go. Those are your homophones. Those are your that's your Say What soundbite for the third time. So we've gotten that out of the way. We can move on and take a look at our, well, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do homophones, and then we'll go back and look at the largest funerals ever, which, as I said, that was today's spelling bee. But first, let's do this. Let's wrap up the homophones and get it out of the way. Anix says, this week's FYI is going to be very useful for me because I'll be under operada, intervenida. Oh my God. Well, Anix, I hope it isn't too serious. I hope it's a routine surgery and you'll be back on your feet. Una expresión que vemos en el capítulo. You'll be back on your feet de nueva ASAP. So I hope the episodes help you out, and I hope everything goes smoothly. It goes off without a hitch, como decimos. If it goes off without a hitch, it means no problems. It went smoothly. Two different ways to say the same thing. So, Anix, we wish you the best. I'm sure I speak on behalf of all of us. All right, let's see. Today's homophones. Kubla, those are the correct words. And he says they sound alike. Laura, those are the correct words. And she says they sound alike. Okay. Kubla taking a stab at the Say What soundbite, and it's almost perfect, but you know, almost perfect doesn't work in this section. I'm only doing that because I know you love it. You're a glutton for punishment. Eres un poco masoquista. Am I right, Kubla? Era para enseñar. Es verdad. No es verdad. It's glotón para el castigo, we say. Le gusta que le den. He's a glutton for punishment. Well, great effort. The good thing is you have one more chance, and it's a really tough one. I know there's always, I think that happens in everyone. No matter how easy it is, there's always one part that's open to misinterpretation. I was going to say open to interpretation, but open to misinterpretation. All right, so I've got some superstar show with no namers here telling me that these two words in today's homophones sound the same. Well, I'm just going to say them. The first word is earn, U-R-N, earn. The second word is earn, no earn. I've heard people say earn. So think of this sentence. I don't earn enough money to buy an urn. That's big business. Death is big business, guys. Weddings, death, babies. Oh my God, these are big, big business. ¿Qué significa? Es un gran negocio. Se forran. They're making a killing. Oh, wow. We're talking a lot about death today. Making a killing. Well, remember, listen to those episodes. It was actually one of my students, David, said, we should do an episode on death, because I always ask you guys for suggestions. And I said, yeah, I think it's important to know how we talk about death and, different ideas and a lot of fun facts about different civilizations. So it's quite interesting the way different societies view death too. The afterlife, a lot of religions, a big part of religions is what happens after death. So quite interesting. If you haven't listened to it, you can listen to it wherever you get your Vaughn podcast. But ladies and gentlemen, a nice round of applause for Kubla and Laura. The words earn, urna, and earn, ganar, sound exactly the same. Just to associate the words, just think, hey, I've got a perfect example. Where's my movie queen? Where's Chris Valrol? The Big Lebowski. Do you remember? They're at the funeral. Their friend, I don't want to, well, it's an old movie now. It's not a spoiler if the movie's 30 years old. It's a spoiler if it came out last week. People are like, don't tell me I haven't seen it. I'm like, you've had 30 years to see the freaking movie. What are you waiting for? If you haven't seen it, then you'll see it. So in The Big Lebowski, one of their friends dies, okay? And they go to a funeral director in a funeral parlor. El sitio is the funeral parlor, the funeral director. And they say, hey, listen, we got to take care of our friend here. We're going to cremate him, and we got to, get a place to put his ashes. And they're like, the urn, I forget how much it was, but it was pretty expensive. It cost a pretty penny, como decimos. And they were like, no, they were poor. They were broke, sin blanca. And so they took his ashes in a coffee can, like where there were coffee grinds. So there's a good one. They didn't earn enough money to buy their friend and earn. It's a good way to remember it, associating it with that movie. And speaking of earns and earns, we need to look at today's spelling bee. A lot of you guys figured it out. These are the funerals, the biggest funerals ever, folks. The biggest ones. And a lot of you got them on the second go. So excellent job again to everybody who participated. This was tough because they're not names I know either. They're not names I'm very familiar with, to be honest. Well, some of them, yeah. But there are some names here where I'm like, huh? Who the heck is that? Well, I don't know too much about cricket, but a lot of people watch cricket. Personally, I'd rather watch a cricket. Preferiría ver un grillo que un partido de cricket. I'm dead serious. Hey, there's dead again. Voy en serio, no es broma. So number 1, the one and only Princess Di. Yeah, qué ironía, ¿no? No es Di, en inglés it's Di, Diana. Princess Di. We called her Diana, or Princess Di, really. Number 2, Ayrton Senna. I don't know who he is, obviously. As you can see, I can't even pronounce his freaking name. Ayrton Senna. He was a race car. Oh, well, there you go. Marco Senna. Gotcha. A race car driver who was regarded as one of the best. Sorry, motorsports fans. Well, about 3 million people crowded into the streets of Sao Paulo, Brazil, to pay their respects to this true hero, right? Number 3 on our list, Wacko Jacko. Wacko es loco. Wacko Jacko. Michael Jackson, number 3 on our list. Number 4, C.N. Anadurai. Obviously, I don't know who he is. Well, if you're Indian, you might know who he is. But 10 to 15 million people came out to the streets to watch his funeral. So that's pretty nuts. He was a cricket legend. See, I didn't know it. As I said, I don't know too much about cricket. Our 5th one, John Paul II. Juan Pablo II, you call him? John Paul II, the Polish Pope. And we looked at that word the other day. Remember, polish es limar algo. No limar, darle brillo. It's to polish something. And Polish is the nationality. And the 6th one on our list is King Jong-il II. So those are the most viewed funerals, most attended funerals in the world, ladies and gentlemen. All right, but it's time to move on. All this talk about movies makes me want to go to the movies. Name that movie. That's right, amigos. It's Name That Movie, only on the show with no name. And I've got to admit right from the get-go, This is el primer momento, right from the get-go. I've got to admit that I don't know. I've heard of the movie. I'm more familiar with the book, but I've never seen it. I've never seen it. Maybe some of you might be familiar with it, but it's a classic story. Okay, here we go. An English professor falls for a minor and has to face the consequences of his actions. Wow. So, an English professor, hey, hello, falls for, se enamora de. So you can say falls in love with or to fall for. También fall for es caer en una trampa. Oh, man, you're so gullible. Eres tan naive, gullible, right? Te crees todo. So you fall for everything. But to fall for a person means you fall in love with them. Caes en ellos, right? So an English professor falls for a minor. Fall, fell, fallen. Don't mix it up with feel, felt, felt. Don't do it. And a minor, what the heck am I talking about? A minor? Una minera? Well, puede ser, si no lo ves escrito. A miner, M-I-N-E-R, is somebody who works in a mine. And a minor, M-I-N-O-R, is somebody who is underage. All right? They sound, so a minor. Well, think about this. Sadly, in some countries, to get this lithium for your electric cars out there are minors who are minors. Sadly, you can always remember that one now because that's a true story. All right, let's see. We've got a winner, ladies and gentlemen. Please give it up for your movie queen, Chris Valrol. The movie is Lolita. Lolita. And I remember when I was a kid and I discovered pornography, okay? I'm not going to get into too much detail here, but I remember thinking, why are so many of these girls named Lolita? I was like, why do they all call themselves Lolita? And I didn't understand that Lolita meant a young girl. So I'm like, well, I don't get the fascination with Lolita. So classic tale. In fact, the girl who was in the movie, the actress, her name was Dominique Swain, and she was a minor, 15 years old, when the movie was filmed. So they used an adult body double. A body double is a stunt double does your stunts. Hace tus locuras, no tirarte de un acantilado. Unless you're Tom Cruise or Jason Statham, then you do your own, right? But a body double is like Madonna's in a movie. She doesn't want anybody to see her boobs. I think we've all seen Madonna's boobs by now, but I'm using her as an example. Well, they'll put in a body double, and that's somebody who, if they need to show an ass or an arm or some part of the body, a private part. It's not a minor. Okay, so yeah, and Jeremy Irons, the famous actor Jeremy Irons, very talented actor. He originally turned down the role. To turn down is rechazar. So he originally turned down the role because he knew that playing this character would hurt his career. Even though he's not that guy, you know how it works. People are, oh man, he's evil. I hate that guy. You know what I mean? And he thought it over. Esta se usa bastante. Le dio bastantes vueltas. He thought it over, and Glenn Close talked him into it in the end. She was this close. She talked him into it, le convenció. And it was only because she said that working with Adrian Lyne, the director, is an experience he should not miss. That Adrian Lyne was one of the greats, right? So he agreed to play Humbert. However, he made sure, this was his condition, that he made bank, para darte una expresión. To make bank es forrarte, ganar bien, muy bien. He made sure he made bank because he was anticipating a few years of possible unemployment, that people wouldn't want to employ him in Hollywood. So Natalie Portman originally was up for the role. Estaba considerada, was up for the role, and she turned it down. Ella lo rechazó. Very, very interesting story. As I said, it's a story that's as old as time. Well, not really. Let's see. Lolita. It's not as old as time. Let's see. The book, Vladimir Nabokov, and the book came out in 1955. So it's not even as old as my mother. I'm saying it's as old as time. Listen to me. I'm the oldest story in the world, the oldest tale ever told anywhere on this planet. Man, I'm in the wrong business. I should have been in the circus business, you know. Overstating things. Feast your eyes on the lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. That's from a movie. That's from The Wizard of Oz. But let's focus on the movie we're looking at today, Lolita. And Lolita says, wait a sec. So a veces decimos, wait a sec es dame un segundo en vez de second. Wait a second, wait a sec. Pero si lo pones en plural es un homófono para sexo. Speaking of, right? Give me a couple secs. Oh, okay. ese, sex, right? So wait a sec. You're telling me we're sleeping in one room, she says, in un dormitorio, una habitación, with one bed? And Humbert says, I'm going to try and do my British accent here. I've asked them to bring up a cot, which I'll use if you like. So I've asked them, les he pedido, that they bring up, que suban, también es mencionar, but in this case, del contexto es subir, a cot, catre, a portable bed, muy importante en un hotel, de hecho. Can we have a cot? Cuando no quieres pillar otra habitación, you know, if you could do it, it's a way to save a couple bucks, unos duros, as you would say back in the peseta days. Ahorrar unos duros. I used to love the duros. 20 duros. So, focus, Alberto, focus, because we've got to go to a commercial break. I've asked them to bring up a cot, which I'll use if you like. And Lolita says, you're crazy. And Humbert says, why, my darling? And Lolita says, because my darling, she's making fun of him there. She's teasing him. She's mocking him. Tres formas. To make fun of, to tease, to mock. Because my darling, when my darling mother finds out, she'll divorce you and strangle me. Te divorciará. And she'll strangle me. Me estrangulará. En inglés no lleva e delante esa palabra. And Humbert says, Lo, Lolita's nickname, Lo, listen a moment. Listen a moment. For all intents and purposes. Now, ¿quieres ver a un americano que equivocarse? This expression, we've looked at it, I know, on this show and on FYI, but for all intents and purposes is a todos los efectos, a los efectos de. Now, a lot of Americans mishear it, and they say for all intensive purposes. It's wrong. So you want to correct a native person? Next time you go to the United States, keep your ears peeled. And if you hear somebody say, well, for all intensive purposes, and you're like, no, it's for all intents, como intentos, and purposes. So that's one of those laísmos that you'll find in English. I don't think until I started teaching, I used to say for all intensive purposes because it sounds like that when you say it. And since native speakers hear stuff before they see it written or read it, well, that's, you see what I mean? You're exposed to the language through your ear first. I know it with my daughter. So for all intents and purposes, I am your father. Sounds like another movie, right? And I'm responsible for your welfare. Tu bienestar. We are not rich, so when we travel, we shall be thrown together a great deal. Nos juntarán muchísimo. A great deal means a lot. And two people who enter into a cohabitation, that's very formal, cohabitation, they're living together, inevitably lead into a kind of, and she says very blatantly, sin rodeos, blatantly, claramente, the word is incest. and incest is sleeping with a family member. Well, I think that's a good time to go to a commercial break. When you start talking about incest, it's time to take a break. Jeez Louise. Folks, you know how this works. We're off to a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with the fourth and final part of today's show. So, stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the show with no name, exclusively on Vaughn Radio. This afternoon, you've got tons of amazing programs. Right after today's show, you've got the one and only Seamena Holiday and Test Your English. Oh, yeah. After that, you've got the Lunchtime Show with Rob Grams and Andy Vaughn and their banter. Suchachara. Then, Tosh Pasqua will take you back to basics. You'll get Random with Jules Linares. Or have a salad with Dave Boys. You never know what to expect on his amazing program. And Kyle Miller's Drive Time, Richard Vaughn Live, and the Provo Show. Oh, and don't forget about No Excuses. So many amazing programs designed to help you guys learn English, love English, and get excited about English. Follow us on social media. Search for Grupo Vaughn. Search for us individually. And let the learning and the laughing continue, even after the program is over, which is going to be in another 25 minutes. I can't believe it. I mean, it flies by every day, but whoa. Well, I'll tell you what, I shouldn't dilly-dally. To dilly-dally, my mother's favorite word to use with me. I shouldn't dilly-dally anymore, waste any more time, because we've got a lot to do. Let's kick off with today's Double Trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, amigos. That's right. It's Double Trouble, only on the Show with No Name. Now, we've already looked at a few translations here on the show, but this is a translation with a twist. And that twist is you have to use the same word twice. So it limits how you can translate it, but it also helps you focus on words with double, triple, and many meanings. Are you ready? I think this one's pretty tough today, to be honest, but let's see how you guys do. Tienes que aprovechar el momento oportuno. Excuse me. Tienes que aprovechar el momento oportuno. Ponemos los detalles en orden más tarde. Okay, there's your double trouble. So, tienes que aprovechar el momento oportuno. Ponemos los detalles en orden más tarde. That is your double trouble. You have to use the same word twice. All right, and also I'm going to give you your Say What soundbite for the fourth time. And Kubla, excellent effort. Let's see if anybody can get that last thing that he's saying that has nothing to do with a bathroom. Here we go.
Thank you, Doctor. I could use some energy. Incidentally, one of those torpedoes you fired at me was circling, and you're sunk. Some people will do anything to get rich quick. Toodaloo.
All right, folks. And don't forget, a quick reminder, I haven't talked about it, and I like to mention it on every show. My latest book, This Book is the Shit, is out. And if you haven't gotten it, I don't know what you're waiting for.
Alberto, viene Tom Cruise al hormiguero y tengo que decirle una cosa. Tengo que decirle, vamos al lío. ¿Cómo se lo digo?
Vamos al lío, tío. Eso es facilísimo. Piensa en la canción de DJ Tiesto. Let's get down
to business.
Give me
One more night together.
Let's get down
to business. Let's get down to business. Ah, lo sabía, pero no sabía que lo sabía. Aprende inglés con canciones, películas, videojuegos, series, personajes, onomatopeyas. Todas las cosas que te rodean están en inglés, pero no te das cuenta de que ya las tienes en la cabeza. Solamente hay que colocarlas. Y para eso, utiliza nuestro tercer libro, This Book is the Shit, por Alberto Alonso
y Damián Moya.
Así da gusto aprender.
Oh, yeah. That's right, folks. This book is the shit wherever you get your books, or you can pick them up at our online shop. It's vontienda.com, and you can get other amazing materials, essential English, which we looked at yesterday, natural English. We've got, I think, one thing I would recommend to everybody, I mean, whoever you are, our translation lists, also our student manual. I mean, it's A through Z of the Vaughn method. I highly recommend it. Stop by the Vaughn Tienda and see what materials are right for you. It just depends on where you are in your journey. Tu cruzada, tu viaje al inglés. All right, let's see. Laura taking a stab at today's double trouble, which was tienes que aprovechar el momento oportuno. Ponemos los detalles en orden más tarde. All right, Laura says, you have to make the most of the right time. We'll write the details later. Laura, I think it's a great effort, but it doesn't sound natural. Okay, let's see. Leo says you have to take advantage of the right time. At another time, we will put order into the details. Okay, it's muy formal. We'll put order. You could just say we'll organize or we'll order the details. We'll put them in order, right? To put them in order. So to put the details in order, but still not what I'm looking for and still a little bit forced. All right, you want me to give you a clue? We just talked about an actor, and I chose the double trouble because of his last name. So I just said, we just looked at a movie, right? And I said the movie stars, really the professor and what's her name? Lolita. So it's not Dominique Swain. It's the other person. So there's a clue. That actor's last name is repeated twice. Whoa. This is a tough one today, huh? I can feel you guys sweating over there. All right, anybody? Going once. Going twice. Oh, no. This will be I was going to say this will be a first. It hasn't happened in a long time where nobody has gotten the double trouble. So I'm holding out. Estoy esperando. I'm holding out for a hero to the end of the night. I'm holding out for the answer here. Anybody? Going once, going twice. Hay que aprovechar el momento oportuno. Ponemos los detalles en orden más tarde. Okay, le damos, cerramos esas cositas y le damos un poco de sustancia. Okay? Anybody? All right, I'm going to have to give it to you here. Only two. Here's what I'm a little bit. There are 20 of you live right now, and only 2 of you took a stab at it. Okay. Jay Lima says you have to seize the right moment. I don't see any double words there. Okay. So you're telling me you don't know. Right? You can say seize the day. Seize the day is carpe diem. Seize the day. You can say either one. We say carpe diem as well. Make the most of it. All right. The actor we're talking about is Jeremy Irons. So you have to strike while the iron is hot. We'll iron out the details later. There you go. So we have to strike, or you have to, I said tienes, no tenemos. You have to strike. Now to strike is dar un golpe. To strike while the iron, el hierro, is hot. Y fíjate, vimos la palabra earn before, iron. No es iron, it's iron. I earn money, and I bought an iron. I earn money, and I bought a new iron with that money. I bought a new iron with the money I earn. Hey, we're always playing with words. So think of a blacksmith, un herrero, and he's hitting that piece of iron. He's nailing it with all his strength. It's not moving. making a nice sound. It'll give you a migraine in 5 seconds. But that iron is not going to bend the way he wants it to, is it? Doblar, right? Because the iron's not hot. Now, if you heat it up, that iron's going to go wherever you want it to, right? That's the whole idea. When you get it to that certain temperature, that iron is like putty in your hands. Es tuyo, if you know what you're doing, obviously. So there's the imagery behind it. You have to strike while the iron is hot. Hay que darle el golpe mientras el hierro está caliente. No hay que esperar si hay una oportunidad. And Chris, you got the second part. We'll iron out the details later. To iron out the details, let's see if we Google it here. It says poner algo en orden, resolver, right? Planchar, bueno, también es planchar. Dar por zanjado, desarrugar, suavizar. That's, if you think of suavizar, think about that. O sea, luego le damos más forma, le suavizamos para que esté más bonito, right? So it means that you've got the main idea and you'll figure out all the details later. To iron out the details is the phrasal verb. To resolve, right? Limar, it says here. Poner algo en orden in Spanish. To resolve, right? So, my amigos, even though it was a tough one, I'm going to give you a nice E for effort. E for effort. Por el esfuerzo. So, tienes que aprovechar el momento oportuno. Ponemos los detalles en orden más tarde. You have to strike while the iron is hot. We'll iron out the details later. Why? Because it's time for You're Joking.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, what did the guy say when he walked into the bar? Ouch. Ouch. You get it? Ouch. He walked into the bar.
You're joking.
That's right, folks. You're joking, only on the show with no name. And here's where we learn English with a little humor. And I think I'll change the lyrics of the Mary Poppins song. Just a spoonful of laughter makes the English go down. English go down. English go down. Just a spoonful of laughter. I'm pronouncing it British. I say laughter. Risa. They say laughter. Just a spoonful of laughter makes the English go down in the most delightful way. Sure, if we're having fun, if we're laughing and we're learning, then we've got it all figured out. We'll iron out the details later. All right, here we go with today's jokes. Let's see if you get them. Which place do superheroes flock to? A flock is a flock of sheep. Es una manada, right? So a flock of birds. De hecho, de ahí viene la expresión, birds of a feather flock together. Dios los cría y ellos se juntan. So, which place do superheroes flock to? Ir en masa. To Cape Town. No. Come on, that's an easy one. Cape Town? All right. Well, you call it, I forget what you call it. Ciudad del Cabo. Yeah, that's what you call it. It's a city in South Africa. Cape Town. But also, what do superheroes wear? Capes, right? Una capa. So it's the same word in English. The Cape of Good Hope. There's another one. What about the Cape of the Cat? Cabo de Gata. Or as we say in Almeria, we don't say Cabo de Gata. We say Cabo Gata. The de is not important there. So Cape Town, you get it? Where they wear capes. It's a cape. Okay, it's a geographic. Okay, all right, never mind. I got another one for you. Why did Superman never need a babysitter? Why did Superman never need a babysitter? Because he had supervision. No, I didn't. No, he had supervision. I think it's great. No, he had supervision. Supervision, visión, muy buena. But also supervision, parental supervision. You need the supervision of an adult to go see a PG-13 movie. Supervision. Creo que funciona en español. Tenía supervisión. Hey, supervisar. I think it works in Spanish. Hey. All right, the next one. How was the superhero party? How was the superhero party? Okay. It was low key. Low key. You know the character Loki? Well, the character's Loki, but low key, como llave bajo, low key means de tranqui, de relax, sin mucho. No ha pasado mucha, no había mucha novedad, excuse me. It was a low key party. Low key, informal, discreto would be a good word. How was the party last night? It was low key. So how was the superhero party? It was low key. All right, last one. We'll go back to Superman, the all-American hero. Look up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. It's the show with no name. What does Superman eat in his What does Superman eat his breakfast in? Excuse me. What does Superman eat his breakfast in? A Super Bowl, of course. Super Bowl. A Super Bowl is the famous game, the football game in the United States, the most famous one all year round, the Super Bowl, but also a bowl is un tazón, Super Bowl, un tazón, super. All right, these are really bad jokes, and I'll stop, but only because we've got a birthday party to get to in famous birthday trivia. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It's famous birthdays only on the show with no name. The first person today was born in 1948, an English actor. He received classical training at the Bristol Old Vic Theatre School, the very reputable Bristol Old Vic Theatre School. And, in 1969, he began his acting career on stage. And he has appeared in the West End, but he's also been in many, many movies along his days. And he's been in The Lion King, Madam Butterfly. He was also in The Lion King, he voiced Scar, the character of Scar. He was also in the Justice League, The Man in the Iron Mask, which is an interesting movie for him to be in, given the last name he has. And we said his name before because he was in Lolita. Number 2. This guy was born in 1940, an American singer, songwriter, best known as half of the Righteous Brothers. The Righteous Brothers, gotta love them. I'm sure you know some of their songs. You lost that loving feeling. Oh, that loving feeling. Great song there. That's from, they sing it in Top Gun. And also, what's another one? Unchained Melody. That's from Ghost. These are these are great songs, but then they remind you of movies. And speaking of another one from a movie, For I Had the time of my life. And I never felt like this before. So some of the best love songs ever written by this guy. And last but not least, this guy was the original Batman in the TV show, the funny, goofy Batman. He's also huge because he's in Family Guy, Padre de Familia. He plays a very important, big character in that show as well. And he died, well, not now. He died in 2017. All right. And the original one. He's also been in The Simpsons, and in The Simpsons and Family Guy, he played fictionalized versions of himself. So he's become like this cult classic guy, like Bill Murray. You know, they're in a different stratosphere than the rest of us, I think, you know. So, all right, going once, going twice. I'll give them to you because if not, we're going to run out of time. Number 1, Jeremy Irons. Number 2, Bill Medley. It's a great name to have, too. A medley is the part of the song, la melodía, the medley. And last but not least, Adam West. Great job, Chris. And this is going to bring us to our Say What soundbite. This is Adam West in a commercial playing a spy. And he was cast as Batman after the producer saw him in this commercial. So if it hadn't been for this commercial, maybe he wouldn't have been Batman. Cool, huh? And it's a commercial for Nestle Quick. El Nestle Chocolate Quick, right? So they're on board a ship. Una nave, and he goes, "Thank you, doctor. I could use some energy." He offers him a tonic. And he goes, "Thank you, doctor. I could use some energy." Then he pushes a button and a torpedo flies at him. And he goes, "Incidentally, one of those torpedoes you fired at me was circling, and you're sunk, hundido. Y ahora eres tú que está, o sea, que era un boomerang de torpedo, right?" And he goes, "Some people will do anything to get rich quick. Ahora, acuérdate, la marca es quick, but to get rich quick es ganarse dinero rápido, right? Sin trabajártelo mucho." And that last thing they said was toodaloo. Toodaloo, which means adiosito, hasta lueguito. I would never say toodaloo. Toodles or toodaloo. Es muy, muy, muy británico. Yo creo que hasta anticuado. Toodles, toodaloo. So to the loo. I understood why a lot of you said al retrete, to the loo, toodaloo. All right, well, let's hear Adam West.
Thank you, doctor. I could use some energy. Incidentally, one of those torpedoes you fired at me was circling, and you're sunk. Some people will do anything to get rich quick. Toodaloo.
All right, amigos, time for Name That Lyric.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is. No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's Name That Lyric only on the show with no name. And thank you. I'm going to dedicate this to all of you guys, even though you'll never lose that love and feeling. But this song is beautiful, and I hope it puts you in a good mood like it did for me as I was preparing the show today. It's the Righteous Brothers with birthday boy Bill Medley, and it's "You Lost That Lovin' Feeling." Whoa, that loving feeling you lost. And look, let's look at the lyrics together. Google the Righteous Brothers. You lost that loving. Bueno, pon loving feeling y van a encontrarlo ahí. You never close your eyes anymore when I kiss your lips. And there's no tenderness. You know what? I'm going to stop singing it because it's going to rain. And there's no way I could possibly compete with Bill Medley. His voice was righteous. Ciao for now. You never close your eyes anymore. I'll sing along with him. Your lips. Come on, sing it. And there's tenderness like on your fingertips.